Hey Wednesday Wobblers, how you doing? Well, I'm being encouraged to hurry up. I made, last week we pulled out two. We pulled out the Dollar Tree kits. Well, I pulled one and then one fell out all over the floor. So, making two, which isn't a big, it's not supposed to be a big challenge. These are small, quick little makes, you know. Typically the Dollar Tree kits are meant to just whip up really fast just to get an idea of what crocheting is, I guess. I think I went into all that on this next little clip that I'm going to insert here with a whole bunch of complaining. Oh man, what do we got? Okay, so I pulled the turtle and I pulled the dinosaur. Where? I don't know. Little hands walked off with it. These two little creations have found a forever home. The first one came with yarn and a hook and some not so great instructions that I'm not really going to go into right here. I'm going to move forward with that. The next little past me that I'm going to attach at the end of this went into great detail. I used the yarn, did not use the pattern, and I made a little turtle. I stitched on some, I thought it looked like a little watermelon. When I purchased it, I was thinking, oh, it's like a little watermelon. So these lines, after close inspection, are scribbled on there. They're computer generated and scribbled onto the picture. Also the image, let me cover my face. I've been digging in the yard. The fins are worked kind of in rows. This is a clip art picture, which I didn't really realize. It is a computer generated picture. Even the shell, you can see it doesn't start in a ring, it doesn't start in a loop, and all these further rows don't attach to anything. It's a pattern laid over a pattern to create this image. The dinosaur was much of the same. But I used the materials and I made a cute little turtle, and the cute little girl is loving the cute little turtle. Success. The next one was a little dinosaur. It came with 2 tones of pink and some jiggly googly eyes. Both of these came with jiggly googly eyes. I held the 2 pinks together. I used my polymer clay shed Etsy D hook, which is my #1 favorite amigurumi hook. It's got a clover hook in it, and she built it up, and the Etsy designer has just, I don't know, I love her hooks. They fit me well. When you find a hook that fits you well, hold on to it. So I held the 2 pinks together, and then I was informed that the pinks weren't pink enough. So when one ran out, I added some pink enough. Some pink enough. The technical color of this, I love this yarn, is pink enough. And then I added some purple stripes, which I was told they're not really purple enough, but whatever. I had those from Temu. I bought those little bladder pieces, and I made a dinosaur with some bubble gum. Squinty eyes. I'm really liking squinty eyes right now to embroider some little, I mean, if it's got the little bubble thing, it kind of squinty eyes when you're blowing bubbles. So this was a YouTube video. This was a YouTube video, both in the description box below, in case you have purchased the dollar store kits and you found them as crappy as I did, and you still want to use the yarn and make something. These were no sew. Both of them were nice and easy going. I liked the tail on this one. So you created your dinosaur, and when you got to where the tail should be, you did a bunch of focused increases, pinched them closed, slip stitched them, and then continued in a circle. This was a very delightful pattern. Both of them have subtitles. They play gentle music through the whole video. Typically I like the person to talk to me and have the subtitles and I can see what they're doing. But I was working on these in doctor's office waiting rooms, and I wasn't listening to the volume anyway. So instead of needing an earpiece, I could clearly see in traditional verbiage of crochet terminology, I could clearly see what I needed to do next. These were excellent little pieces, worked up all in one. I had minimal yarn with me in my pocket, worked well. This one was great because at the time we were moving to different departments throughout the day in the hospital. And so I was able to work on quick little pieces, tuck in my pocket, quick little piece, tuck in my pocket. I didn't have to keep large stitch counts. I think the largest stitch count was probably the shell, and it only went up to 24. I think, if I remember correctly, 18. Yeah. Yeah, just delightful little YouTube tutorials linked in the description box below. If you got a little bit of scrap yarn, these would work perfectly fine. Your imagination is unlimited. Your dino could have been any color, but I hope that your dinosaur is pink enough. Like a wad of bubble gum. I had fun with these, and I'm definitely enjoying my company. So, yeah. Let's go over to the Yarn Chicken and pick something for today. All right, let's go over there. All right, let's have a talk. Let's talk about this. So I'm working on Wobblin Wednesday crochet kits, and I have the Dollar Tree Crafter's Square has popped up. One fell on the floor. I'm trying to work two of them. The one I'm working right now is the little turtle. My bag ripped, so I found this cloth bag to put in. It's a low body, amazing lotion. Oh, it's incredible stuff. There's little sherry bars. Anyway, I gotta think of happy things. I put all my stuff in here, and I pulled out the paper. We're going to need a refill. All right, I got too many issues going on today. Let's focus. These are the instructions. The one side is instructions in French. This whole side is not going to help me. I did notice that there was some pictures along the side, some instructions. They're actually really clear to see pictures. They're very small, they're in color, and they're actual photographs, not drawings. I got a little excited. I was like, okay, that's great. The next side, the English side. This is what I have to make the turtle. DIY crochet kit instructions. It says chain stitch, and it in depth tells you how to make a chain stitch. It says chain stitch. Step 1. This is what you start any crochet project looks like. A slip knot on a hook. Step 2. And then it tells you how to make the chain stitch. The next section, working into the chain. Okay. I read through it. Sounded a little textbook, but that's what we're looking for, right? Working in the round. Okay. Changing color. Wow, okay. They're getting a little in depth. That's good, okay. And then the next section talks about sewing seams. This whole section is beginner friendly, step by step, how to make the item. The steps in what the definition of the term they're telling you to use. Okay. So this is the section, the small section, tells you the pattern on how to make the turtle. It says shell. You will sew 8 crochet loops for the first row and 10 crochet loops for the second row, 12 crochet loops for the third row, 14 crochet loops for the fourth row to the 12th row, 12 crochet loops for the 13th row, 10 crochet loops for the 14th row, 8 crochet loops for the 15th row. This is a paid for pattern, and I cannot tell you the pattern, the instructions for the pattern, because that's wrong. It's wrong to share something that you've paid for that's not a free pattern to give it away for free to other people. What I just read to you gives nothing away. I had no problem reading the pattern to you and giving you, there you go, I gave it to you. Go make it. What is this? No. And I thought, well, maybe it was just giving me the row count. And then it'll follow. It'll tell me, you know, make a magic circle, chain 1, single crochet does not count as a stitch, crochet 8 single crochets into the first round, slip stitch to join, chain up 1. That's me. That's in my brain with previous experience fumbling through a pattern with information that wasn't given to me. If I just walked in off the street and I'm like, I need to crochet a turtle shell, I'm not making anything with that. Now, okay, if they told me working in the rounds and then using the definition that they gave me that says working in the rounds, then I could go back to the definition. Okay, working in the rounds, make a chain 4, slip stitch, working in the center chain. Then I could use that. You will sew 8 crochet loops into the first row. Then I could use that and interpret it to the round. But they said row, not working in the round like the definition. So that's not even a beginner link. The next set of instructions say the body, and I'll spare you the gibberish. It is more of the same. The head, you will sew 8 crochet loops for the first, 6 for the second row. Again, row and loops. You will sew, not you will single crochet, which did it tell us? It said working into the chain. Once you've made the required chain, you will be left with something that looks like this. Foundation row. Oh, okay, so it actually doesn't tell you how to single crochet. Starting in the chain instructions often include turning chain. This example shows a double crochet. So the stitch is worked into the 4th from the hook to create the height needed for the first stitch. They never said how to single crochet. This is wrong. This is somebody walking through the Dollar Tree crafts section, looking at all the different crafts kits that they have, the mosaic. Come here. How many times did you attempt or start to crochet or learn different techniques did you learn before it actually clicked and it became a marvelous hobby that you enjoy today? For a lot of people, there's a lot of different ways that they attempt to learn and enjoy crochet, right? And it doesn't click, it doesn't happen. This isn't clicking for anybody. This is giving crochet kind of a bad name. Because if I got this kit, I would DIY, do it yourself. Nobody's doing it theirself with this. There is no pattern in the kit. That doesn't count as a pattern. The yarn is typical crochet kit yarn. It's the cheap stuff. But I mean, that's typical with crochet kits. There are no safety eyes in the kit. It has Google eyes, which now that's debatable too. Safety eyes, they might be worried about children ingesting them. There is the little black that you should, it doesn't say, but you should embroider on eyes for littles. But this is just as a choking hazard as those safety eyes. I mean, it doesn't have the sharp peg on the back, but the sewing needle, which I joked about in the last Wednesday about those needles being weird, it is not sharp at the end. There's a melted blunt ball at the end of the needle. Okay, for safety purposes, I understand. They still have the same crochet hooks. They're plastic. They're very flimsy. They've changed the solidness of the hook of the plastic. It's very bendy, and you know that might be for safety purposes. But the fluff is normal. Fluff and stuff, that's always been about how much fluff. I don't know if it's enough because I can't make it. Can't make the turtle, so don't know. It looks like there's enough. So this was, it's $1.25 now. $1.25, which they do carry higher priced items. I wouldn't want them to try and prove any of this at a higher price point because this alone isn't worth $1.25. I can buy a whole kit of crochet hooks, probably the same style, for $1.25 now. They have balls of Premier yarn for $1.25 now. I did notice that the Dollar Tree has larger bags of polyfill. They do. Oh, with their sewing stuff. But I mean, it's still, you could buy polyfill. And I know all that adds up and costs a little bit more. These kits are no longer worth $1.25. It was iffy before. But this is crap. This is terrible. I need to write a letter. I need to find an address and write a strongly worded letter. And it says it's distributed by Greenbrier International in Chesapeake, Virginia. But that's who it's distributed. This isn't the creator of the kit. Their Crafter Square is their line of craft items. So I don't know who to complain to. I really feel like I need to speak up on this. This is wrong. Shame on you, Dollar Tree. And there's nothing on the bottom that says like who wrote it or like a name or anything. It's just Crafter Square is the only thing affiliated with it. But that's a registered trademark owned by Greenbrier International. You know what? It doesn't say Dollar Tree on it. I wouldn't complain to Dollar Tree because they're going to tell me go talk to Crafter Square. And Crafter Square is a trademark, but Greenbrier International it's who it's distributed by. Oh, no one is standing behind this. No one actually put their name on it as this is their creation that they're standing behind. Who do I complain to? I really feel like I need to complain. Not to you, but like to somebody that can stop this shenanigan. This is ridiculousness. Okay, so like I said in the last Wobbles, I had my suspicions. I am going to, this is the turtle. It's a sea turtle style. I'm going to support a fellow YouTuber. I'm going to YouTube how to make a sea turtle crochet amigurumi, and I'm going to watch a YouTube tutorial that makes a turtle, and I'm going to go ahead and use the materials because I don't want to waste my $1.25. I'm going to make a sea turtle, and I will link a real creator, someone that stands behind their artwork. I'm going to link them in the description box below. And if you decide to make the turtle, please send me an email. I would love to see what you created following the instructions of a real creator. All right, I still got Dino, and I'm pretty much assuming it's going to be the same situation, but we'll see. I'll be back. See you in a little bit. Okay, we're all set up and ready to go. My Wobbles, my official Wobbles book is still on loan to a dear friend who is learning to crochet. So if I pick a capsule and it's the Wobbles book with like the chapter suggestions, I'm gonna need to pick another capsule because the book isn't currently with me, but that's okay. I want to encourage people to learn to crochet, right? All right, let's do this. What are we making? We're not making nothing. What happened here? Are we plugged in? Are we plugged in? Chicken down, chicken down. All right, we're going. We weren't plugged in all the way. That's all right. Let's go over here and get one of these small ones. The obsession with... Oh, no, chicken has a different idea. Come on, yellow one. You want to... We picked a yellow one last week, and we got a yellow one this week. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? All right. Oh! Oh, no! I dropped it. I opened the capsule. Oh! Did you see that? That was two. All right, let me make sure I'm over the hole before I drop it. Oh, that was an emotional roller coaster, wasn't it? All right, we got a blue one, a blue little one, and there's one big piece of paper in there. Let's see. What is going on this week? What in the world? Wobbles! Perry! We got the penguin. All right. Really? I didn't know I had a penguin one. All right. Hold on, friends. Let me go dig through the closet and see. Get my Wobbles kit. Oh, how exciting. Another Wobbles kit. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, so my memory came flooding back to me. One glorious day, I was adventuring for treasures over at St. Vincent de Paul's, and I saw this on the shelf for $2. Yellow tag, $1. What? Okay, so this is a reminder that if you would like to try a Wobbles kit, go to your Facebook Marketplace. There are lots of people that wanted to try to crochet or gifting crochet to another, and they've decided that it really wasn't for them, and then they are selling their Wobble kits for a fair price. Just one of the many, many ways you could try a Wobbles without paying top dollar. So we have Perry, the penguin from Wobbleville. Finished size 4.5 inches by 3.5 inches. We'll see. I'll do my best. So as I was digging in the tote, I realized that when I purchased my birthday woobles, it came with a mystery. What's hidden inside? The Woobles Mystery Tiny Accessory Kit. And I think, let's put these two together. This is not a slip of paper in the Yarn Chicken because I didn't know how to group it or what to group it with. So there we go. So I'm going to do 2 this week, and I will see you next week with another friend. Hopefully my niece is into penguins, right? I've made a few of these before. Llama Mama Kayla was making that when she first started her Wooble adventures. She put out the challenge. Woobles has a free pattern on their website to make Peri, and I will put the Woobles link in the description box below. I hope he's still free, since I just said that, right? Okay, I'll put it down there if it's available. But Kayla put out the challenge for everyone to make one and to send her pictures, and I made her a little tiny baby one. At the time she had, what did she name them? The mom and the dad, and I sent her a little one made out of thread for the baby. It's all fun and games, right? All right, I'm gonna go Wooble. Go Wooble! I'll see you next week. Bye.